get to part 2 of my conversation with Indiana basketball legend Yogi Ferrell. Well, back to your career, Indiana basketball career. You had one of the great careers, man. And the one thing I noticed that was glaring, and I want to know how you managed to make it happen, was from your freshman year to your sophomore year, you made the biggest jump. So, just being an athlete, a basketball player, and a competitor, I can imagine what you were thinking. You went into the offseason. I think you guys lost to Syracuse in the tournament that year. And I saw a lot of shots you could have took that you didn't. And I'm thinking like, okay, as an athlete, he's going to go in the building, the gym, and he coming out shooting next year. And you did. Like, you know what I'm saying? You left that I like y'all to feel good stuff alone. And you started your buckets. What went into that development, and who was there helping you to get that killer instinct and scoring?
I just say, man, I'm still mad to this day about that Syracuse game because we should have shot a lot more threes.
Absolutely.
But I was a freshman. I was nervous going into it.
Right. Out there shot faking, man. Shoot the ball.
Yeah, they scored like 50 points or something like that, man.
Yeah.
Something low for our team, especially.
Yep.
I feel like. So, for me, I knew Vic was leaving. I knew Cody was leaving. Jordy was a senior. Christian was a senior. So we didn't have many guys coming back. So for me, I just took that off season and just started working hard and getting confidence in my shot.
Yep.
And I actually spent a lot of time in Dallas, Texas, because I got connected with Mo Williams' trainer.
Okay.
You know who Mo Williams is?
Yeah.
He played in the league
Alabama guard.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I actually got in touch with his trainer, and I remember I spent like a month, little less than a month in Dallas working with his guy.
Okay.
Pretty much every day. And I feel like working with him really, really grew my confidence.
Definitely. And you did that in college?
I did.
Oh, wow. Damn, I didn't know that. And y'all just like that's because I think you averaged like 7 or 8 points your freshman year. And then your sophomore year, you go averaging 17 points a game. Like that's a hell of a jump. Usually it's 13. I think I averaged like 12 or 13 points freshman year, averaged like 17 my sophomore year. That's normal. You got to get better. But from 7 to 17, that's a lot of work that goes into that. Not only that, your percentages improved and things like that. And your aggressiveness and mindset changed. And I think it put you on the map as an individual. Now that year, I don't think did y'all have a decent year? You have as good a year. But
we didn't. That was a bad year.
It set you up because you had like a roller coaster. Like at first, you had a great freshman year, and then
great one. I'd say sophomore was my worst year there for sure.
Okay.
We didn't make the tournament, and we made the tournament my freshman, junior, and senior year. So
right, yeah, and then so you got better and better after that. And my question: what was the biggest adjustment from high school to college basketball?
Biggest adjustment, just the physicality of it.
Right.
I didn't lift a single weight in high school at all. and I remember my first workout at Indiana. It was just me and 2 other freshmen that we had just came in, and we're running on the treadmill, incline. I'm like, man, I'm dying.
Right.
I'm like, man, do I really want to do this?
Right.
It's the hardest workout of my life, man. We lifting all this weight.
Right.
Never doing this before. I'll never forget that. But I feel like doing all that we did really had set me up and really helped me have success at IU.
Right. I tell people, when my memory of college, I thought it's a 363 a day a year job. Like these, like you are in there working out and doing whatever for it looks exaggerated, but I'm close to that, about 363 days per year. And they don't understand the commitment that it takes to and the amount of time that you're going to have to put in to do that. So, but that obviously that's what creates that work ethic. And you always say college is where you create that work ethic,
right?
And set you up for your professional life if you're fortunate enough to do that. And you were also part of Victor Oladipo's development. What was it like to see him go? Because both of y'all went from to superstars in like a matter of time. Like what was Vic doing and you setting him up obviously, but what did he do to get, to improve? What did you see?
I mean, what I saw even during my recruiting process is this guy is the last guy in the gym.
Yeah.
I remember he was always at the other end getting shots up after practice. And he was the last guy in there. And for me to be able to see that, I was glad I was able to see that during my recruiting stage.
Absolutely.
Because I feel like I even tried to do that at IU. Like, I remember I would drag the gun from Cook Hall all the way to Assembly Hall and just get shots up by myself at night, maybe the night before a game. And that just helped me just have my confidence and able to go out there and just hoop.
Absolutely. And you guys get a chance to compete against each other in the NBA. What's your guys' relationship like now?
I mean, he's still a beast. He's still a monster, even to this day. But he's still helping me out, man. Still giving me tips. Just making sure my head is good, because I mean it's a business in the NBA.
Absolutely.
So he's just saying, make sure you look out for yourself. Really, that's it.
Definitely. And we're gonna flip it back real quick, because I want to know a little bit more, and I want to talk a little bit more about Coach Crean. Like, what if you had to describe Coach Crean as a coach? How would you describe it?
Definitely a tough-nosed coach that is not taking no bullshit.
For sure.
At all. And I feel like for me, I actually like that as a player, because you'll get more out of me if you're getting into me, as opposed to a laid-back coach who doesn't really say anything. Because, I kind of need some of that critiquing for myself, because that's even how my father was. He was hard on me. And so I actually really appreciated that Coach Crean was kind of the same way with me, because it really brought out the best in me.
Absolutely. And why do you think the marriage between Coach and Indiana stopped so abruptly? Because I'm sitting here watching, and what I think Indiana fans struggle with is, moving away from us 4-year players to having to recruit the one and done, or, the type of players that it was going to take to compete at the national level, because that's just the way college basketball was going. When I was playing, and before me, you had guys that were there for 4 years. There was no leaving early. And I think he did a good job of replacing, with James. You got James Blackman, you had OG, you had, Vic, you had all these guys. Why do you think that it broke away so unceremoniously?
Well, I would just say, man, the fans weren't happy.
That's simple, huh?
Hey, Indiana fans, I love them, but they're definitely tough. They're tough.
Yeah. Well, it's not to be
that's
happy
for sure.
about, though. Y'all went to Sweet 16. You got NBA players. You got some 4-year players now. You stayed and you handled your what's not to be happy about? I don't understand. I thought he was doing a solid job. I mean, I know he didn't with, I think it was Thomas Bryant's group. I don't think you played with that group, but they didn't make the NCAA tournament.
No, and they were supposed to. I thought after I think that was a year after I left.
Yes,
I thought that team was going to be the best team.
Right.
Maybe even better than my freshman year team.
Right.
That's how talented they were. And I think, a couple of injuries hit them hard.
Yeah, for sure.
OG really tore his ACL, and I think that really hurt him. And I don't think it really gave Coach Crean his time to show, what he got with all the weapons that he had. He wasn't able to use them.
I agree.
Another thing, I feel like the fans wanted Coach Crean to get more in-state players.
Okay.
I feel like IU loves the in-state kids. They love them, which was one of the reasons why I went there. I wanted to be a homegrown, Hoosier kid, and I feel like they just wanted more Indiana kids to go to IU.
Absolutely. That's the reason you're going to have a statue out there at Park Tudor one day. You stayed at home. And what made Coach Crean so special in player development, though? Because I watched OG get better. I watched Vic get better. He coached a kid, what's his name? That's the number 2-3 pick in the draft this year, Anthony Edwards. He's going to get better. It's a proven track record of just creating monsters. What makes Coach Crean's player development different from others. And you've been around a lot of player development being in the NBA. That's all it is. So what makes him create these wing monsters that he create, and players like you as well?
One thing Coach Crean actually did I thought was pretty special is he would bring in guys who weren't even basketball people, and he would have them come and talk to us just on how they got their success.
Yeah.
So, I feel like Coach Crean tried to use some of his outside resources and get different people in different fields, whatever it could be, and try and share their story of success. And for one of us to just take it home. We had notes on every single person that came in. And I feel like him doing that, he was just trying to show how success can be done in a different way and maybe try and implement that way on the court.
Absolutely. I remember Coach Knight made us take notes, and I tore the crib up looking for that book because it's a lot of money in that book because there was a lot of stuff. There's a lot of stuff going on, man. And we write down we had to take notes every day. And
every day.
I think that really helped because there's different types of learners, man. And people learn by reading and writing. Some people learn by listening. And I thought that was very creative to where when I coached, I try to implement the same thing. So what is your relationship with Coach Crean like today?
Everything's great, man. He's still texting me, sending me motivational articles, quotes, whatever he comes across. And I know he's still texting even some of my former teammates about it too. Because, he still has that special relationship with us. It may not be with IU anymore, but I feel like he still has that special relationship with his players that he coached there. And, I still love him to this day.
Absolutely. You can always – that's the thing. And with me was missing. I never had a relationship with Coach Knight to the point where, he was just not that kind of guy. It was like his relationship was going to be with Tony La Russa and Bill Parcells, and these are his boys. Like, I'm calling him like, "What's up, Coach?" Like, "What's up, man? What you want?" Like, no, I'm just checking on you. But he was always good, but he was very, very loyal to his word. And anytime that you needed something, he would be there. If I needed to try out, I wanted to get back in the NBA or try to at least, he was there for me. But, having that connection to where you can go down to Georgia and talk to their team and still have that impact is huge. I think those relationships are huge. Did you ever get a chance to talk to Coach Knight?
I actually didn't. I've never talked to Coach Knight before. I wish he would have came to IU when I was there.
Absolutely.
I know how he felt about it.
He was mad as hell then.
I know.
Oh no!
Were you there? Were you there when he went back?
Yeah, I went to the reunion. I was at the reunion, and it was fantastic, man. I mean, I think the place just exploded, man, and all the guys were there. Isiah was there, Quinn Buckner was there, Scott May. A lot of y'all was busy. I think it was in the NBA season.
No, it was during season. Yeah.
Couldn't make it, but man, it was weird. It was just weird. I mean, it was. Yeah. I think it was. What was it? Last 2020. I think it was probably like 3 years too late, in my opinion. I think during your time, if he would have came back to all those reunions and
all the reunions, I think I remember there was it might have been the 76 team reunion.
Yep, it was 70. That's when I knew he was mad. When he I said, "Oh, this dude really mad." Like, after a while, it was 2000, my senior year, when they let him go. Then you thinking, when did you graduate? 14?
16.
16. That's 16 years. Like, after you ain't getting over nothing in 16 years. It's gonna be like, I mean, dang. But something happened, and I don't dig into that. I know I wrote an open letter to try to spark him coming back. And actually, when I wrote the open letter, Tom Crean called me mad, and I was like, "What's up, Tom?" We was cool. I was like, "What's up, Coach?" You got to be careful what you say in the paper. I was like, what did I say? Because I wrote it. I intentionally made sure that I didn't disrespect who was playing then. I think it was in 2013 or 14 because I got inducted. It was for inviting him to a Hall of Fame induction. That's what it was. So
okay.
More or something year. He was like, I'm sitting here taking care of my family, and I had to read this in the paper. I had to go back and look at it again to make sure nobody changed my words. And what he was upset about is when I said I had a line, just one line in there that said, people are beginning to move on from the Bob Knight era. I think we should work to bridge the gap and not just completely forget about it. But
right. Yes.
I didn't mean anything bad by that. It was the truth. I want to be able to come back and visit you guys and just feel comfortable and not feel like, you want to coach Knight, boy, get out of here. Like, you know what I mean? And I just start feeling like that. And a lot of guys weren't coming back and things like that. And there's always this little black cloud over the program. It seemed like to me, because it was half people that was Coach Knight loyalists. And then y'all was starting with you and Cody. I saw the program going in the right direction, but it was like this black cloud. So every time we was right there, something just like, damn, 16, we supposed to be going to the Final Four your freshman year. Easy.
Nah, you're right. You're right.
Now I know that it was your fault because you wouldn't shoot.
Hey, it probably was my fault, man. I was the PG. I definitely looked at the game. I watched it.
Right. No, I was just messing with you, man. It had nothing to do with you. I just felt like we just needed to bridge that gap. Since instead of having conversations in 2020, we could have had this conversation back in 2013.
I agree. Yeah.
That's what
I appreciate that you putting that thought in my head for me to not try and stay away, even though Coach Crean's not there anymore.
Absolutely. Don't do that. Yeah. Very they back and show love because it's all about relationships and connections. And I felt like, once I kept imposing myself, I'm going back, man. It ain't gonna stop.
Of course.
Coach Crean, he wasn't my coach, but as long as you be cool, treat me with respect, I'm gonna treat you with respect. And then they start hooking me up with gear. So I was like, yeah, I'm coming back every day. It was best friends after that.
Who hooked up your gear? Does Rusty still work there?
Like Rusty's still there, and he got his son in the mix. So hey, go back and I actually stole a pair of your shoes. You don't even know this. Back in
we were the same size.
Okay, yeah, I think you were 12, right?
Yeah.
I still got some nice pair of Adidas from you out your locker.
Yeah, no, I got so many shoes anyway. It was cool anyway.
I asked Timmy G. I'm like, who wear a 12? Like, Timmy Garl's still there. So
yeah, Timmy G, man, that's my boy.
Absolutely. Yeah. I gotta get. This dude has been there since Isiah was there. Like,
you're
talking about somebody that's seen everything. Like, that's the dude I want to sit down and talk to. Like, just.
That's true.
That's true. You know what I'm saying? Seeing all the coaches, Coach Knight, all the way through Mike Davis, Kelvin Sampson, Dan Doggett, Tom. Come on, man, you can't beat that. So we can go all day about that. Let me go on to the. But I think that we as alumni doing this and this continuing to bridge that gap and let these other kids know that it took me a minute to understand that how important Indiana basketball was, you know what I mean? Because I was in your situation. I'm trying to make it. I'm in the league. I wasn't thinking about IU. Like, I mean, I wasn't. It was no disrespect. It was like I was on to the next thing. But when you're done, the one thing about the NBA is they're not going to revere you like they do in the college. You're going to always be able to come back and all that. Because when you get older, you ain't playing no more. You feel washed up. You need, I got to get some love from somewhere. I used to be tough. I ain't tough no more. So where am I going to get this love from? So Like, hey, Jay, I'm like, oh, we still got some people remember. Okay, so I always want to, make sure that continues to happen and get a real reunion going.
Right.
We're all there, not just Crean's guys, not just Knight guys. Because you got to think about it. Crean guys, Knight guys, Mike Davis guys. And it's like, no, that's not how it works. We all Indiana guys.
Right, right.
Let's start working to bridge that gap.
Yeah.
You like me had a wonderful 4-year career, man. And I'm sure you went to a lot of workouts and you watching guys get drafted that you just annihilated. And you took care of during your time at IU. I know for me, I think draft night was hell. I was pissed. Like, cause I was a second round pick. I was the second pick of the second round, but dudes that went before me, I had given the blues. And I just didn't understand it. What being a senior was looked down upon. And
it was.
I think you went through the same thing. How was it on your draft night?
I actually had the opportunity to get drafted by 2 teams. Second round, it was like either the 55th pick and the 60th pick.
Okay.
And for me, me and the agent I had at the time, we thought that probably wasn't best. And because I think they were just going to put me in the G League automatically.
Yeah.
And, I wanted to try and go to an organization where I could just earn my way in.
Yeah.
And, draft night, man, it was sad seeing all these kids be picked before me. And I wasn't even invited to the combine.
Yeah.
I didn't even get to go to that to even, try and get an opportunity, to get picked higher. But, it just gave me a lot of motivation. And even still to this day to just continue working. But I'll never forget draft night.
Man, I was pissed. Was you pissed?
Yeah, I was angry, man. Upset, crying, man. Yeah, man. I was upset.
I got drafted and was still pissed. Like I stood up. I'm like, what is going on here? I was about to leave. I'm like, I ain't got time for this, man. I didn't murder these dudes. But I didn't really understand the business of the NBA because I didn't have anybody. Like Indiana, Indianapolis, you got a lot of NBA guys you could get the information from, reach out to. I was just kid Peoria, happy as hell to make it to Indiana, to have a good career and to be even considered. But then I got greedy at the end, get mad because I didn't get drafted. So I felt bad as I look back on, like, man, you ungrateful. But when you slay people like that and then they go before you, that was a hurtful feeling.
For sure. Yeah.
You then you went to does the G League experience really prepare you and help you in your bid to become an NBA player?
I think so. It helped me. And the G League team that I had played for was actually a really good, I feel like, G League team for me because the head coach at the time was Ronald Norad.
Okay. Do you play against him?
Butler. Huh?
Did you play against him?
No.
Oh, he's older.
He's a little older than me.
Okay, so he might be around my time. Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
But he was my coach at the time, and he just would always tell me, this is not where you're going to be for forever. So make sure you're doing everything you need to do now to prepare yourself for the next level. And, when my time was called, I was ready for it. Right.
And so then you used that opportunity to get you ended up down in Dallas. That's where I start watching. I remember you at Dallas with Mark Cuban and his team. What was it like the first time you met Mark Cuban?
Q's, man, he's cool, man. We always reminisce on IU all the time. And he's definitely one of the more hands-on owners, but he really cares about his players, though. And even you can see it now, him trying to reach out and find help for Delonte West. Not many owners are doing that right now.
That's awesome.
And for him to be able to do that, it's really special. And it just shows his character.
And you play for one of the best coaches, in my opinion. It's not in the NBA, Rick Carlisle. What did he do to get the most out of you?
Well, he told me I suck. So I remember this is what, my first practice in Dallas. I'm on my 10-day. He calls me over after practice and he's like, welcome to the team, blah, blah, blah. I saw your numbers. They're not that great. But he's like, but we're just going to throw you out there. He's like, you're starting tomorrow. And the first game was against San Antonio. So I'm playing against Tony Parker, Manu, those guys like that. We ended up winning that game. But I'll just remember he just downplayed it. My experience there. And I just thought that was funny.
Right, for sure. I mean, did he really mean it or he was just being sarcastic?
Nah, that's the kind of guy he is, though.
That's how he is, huh?
He's a great coach, though.
Yeah,
very smart in what he wants to do. Very basketball minded. But he just told me my numbers weren't that great. And I was like, well,
come on.
That's not something you want to hear.
Right.
But he also gave me some other great advice. And
absolutely.
He told me even during practice, I wasn't really attacking. And he told me, I either got to be attacking the rim for a layup, catching and shooting, or attacking and finding my teammates. I can't just be swinging the ball around, especially as a guard. So, I kind of try to take that into the games and just go full force.
Wow. And those 70s and 80s players, They're the most hilarious, the former player, the most hilarious people because the way they view life and the way they view the NBA is just so casual. And they'll say stuff like that, man. I think
exactly.
that's why and I wasn't upset. I ain't gonna say I was mad, but I was like, man, why you didn't re-sign with Dallas?
Well, I mean, it's business at the end of the day.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, they made business decisions in who they wanted to draft, and I made a business decision in, where I wanted to further my career.
And I was looking at that because I was like, man, he with Cuban, so Cuban gonna take care of my man. We good. And then you bounce. I thought maybe you almost resigned, and then you changed your mind at the end or something.
Yeah, I changed my mind.
I was like, okay, but I thought, with IU I'm always looking for IU connections. I don't think I look for anything else. So who's on the staff? Somebody else there, and can they help? You know what I mean?
Right.
That's cool. It's always about business in the NBA. And one day I remember watching the game, and I don't know if you remember this play. He was playing. We believe I was playing the Clippers, and you clipped Chris Paul at half. You remember that?
Yeah, I do.
Just wanted to do some backflips after that. Like I just clipped one of the greatest point guards of all time. Man, I know you just inside. You was like, this is it.
I was surprised. I even picked him myself.
Right.
That's what I was surprised about. Right. It was about like 3/4 court. I picked him and just easy layup, just all by myself.
And I'm looking like, I said, Yogi gonna be all right. Because he clipped one of the GOATs. And I'm like, but me, I would have called time out my damn self and did some cartwheels or something like this. We don't remember this forever. But anyway, I'm gonna have you weigh in on it. And you say what you want to say.
Okay.
MJ and LeBron, where we at? No, you know what? You're still unsigned, so I want you to just be careful. Like you might have to go play for the Lakers. I don't want LeBron listen to this like, oh no,
that's
I heard
true. That's true.
Right. But so what do you think about that what do you think about LeBron? Let's just talk about that.
This is what I always say. I feel like MJ had the best career you could ever have.
Really?
The best career ever. Mm-hmm. But I feel like LeBron is probably the greatest basketball player.
Okay, cool.
I think that's probably what I will say. I will say MJ had the best career regardless of sport. It don't matter what sport it is. Mm-hmm. I would say he's the best there, but I mean, nobody's doing what LeBron's doing longevity-wise. So, and I don't know. That may be because, I've seen him play a bunch, played against him. Obviously, I didn't really see MJ play too much here and there. I was only, 5 years old when he won his last championship.
Right.
So, I mean, that's just me, though.
You obviously played against him. So, I mean, that's the most important part. And what I don't like about that conversation is when you say LeBron, people think you don't like MJ.
Oh no, I love MJ.
You know what I mean? Like people believe that. Why you hating on? If I say Michael Jordan's a great, why you hating on LeBron? I'm not hating on him. It's only like 4 people in this conversation. And,
right.
And LeBron, what is it about when you're on the floor with him? What is it about him that makes him, the greatest basketball player of all time?
I mean, his presence on the court. Mm-hmm. Everybody's looking at him. Of course, he's the number 1 guy on the scouting report, whatever team he's playing for. And I think he gets the most out of his guys. And the way he's able to, no matter who he's playing with, he's going to carry his teammates to the championship.
Right, for sure.
For him to go, I can't remember how many championships has it been that he's been to?
10, I believe. I think
it's 10, and it was 9 consecutively.
Yeah, 9, yep.
Last year.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's just something special that you're able to do on multiple different teams too at the same time.
Mm-hmm. Have you ever gotten a chance to sit down and talk with our GOAT, Isiah?
When did I actually talk to Isiah? I think I might have talked to him in New York one time. I think he came to a practice one time when I was with Dallas.
Okay.
And I just talked to him. I think it was just briefly. I mean, we had to go, I think, back to the hotel. But, just reminiscing on the IU times and everything like that.
I think he got a lot of respect for. I heard some comments he made on NBA TV when you were, I want to say he was playing with Dallas, and he had a lot of good things to say, and I enjoyed that. So I just wonder what our two number 11 goats ever had a chance to chop it up and share some good stories from that time period. Have you ever, and I'm gonna backtrack a little bit because it's a question I forgot to ask you. Have you ever had a chance to sit down and communicate with Archie Miller?
So I've only met Archie once.
Okay.
And I remember I think it was around homecoming 3 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And I went, play open gym with those guys. At the time, season wasn't going on.
Mm-hmm.
But I was able just to talk to him. And, I like him a lot. And
yeah, for sure.
I obviously knew of his resume in Dayton and bringing those guys to multiple Elite Eights.
Mm-hmm.
But, I could see why a lot of guys do like Archie. I feel like he's a player coach first.
Mm-hmm.
And, he's a great recruiter. Getting all these guys to go to Indiana, I think that's something special. But, I like him as a coach, though.
Absolutely. There's a lot of similarities in you guys. I mean, you obviously was a much better basketball player college-wise, but guys were both tough-nosed point guards who put winning first. And I think that, going back to, the alumni thing and just keeping that relationship, solid and, being able to go back and enjoy that is very important as you get older and you go forward in your career. And I was going to ask you, how would you like to, when you think about your time at IU and they bring your name up, what would you like them to say? What was about you as a player?
About me as a player?
Yeah, the fans. Yep.
I would say a guy that goes out there and gives it my all 100% no matter what. Mm-hmm. And I remember there's a picture actually my dad had sent me the other day, and it was me jumping over the railing trying to save a ball. Uh-huh. And this is in an exhibition game.
Right, definitely.
I mean, now that I think about it and look back, I probably shouldn't have done that.
What am I doing?
In an exhibition game, it don't even matter.
Right, exactly.
We were already up, probably 20 at that point. Mm-hmm. But, I feel like I want people to look back and see that and just see how much winning meant to me.
Exactly.
And how much I wanted those fans to be proud and my family to be proud. And that's basically it.
I remember Pat Knight telling me our junior, senior year, he's like, man, you guys got to really, really relish this opportunity because this is the last team you'll ever be on. Like, mm-hmm. and at the time, I didn't know what he meant. I'm like, team, I'm trying to go to the league. I'm still trying to play.
Yeah.
And then I thought about it. I was like, oh, he mean in terms of like togetherness, camaraderie.
Yeah. Camaraderie. Mm-hmm.
Playing for one thing, because when people don't know, when you get to the pros, whether it be NBA overseas, it's all about you producing and making money. It's not as much about the team unless you join the team that's already winning. Do you get is that something you sense right now in your career?
Oh, I agree. I'm just like you. I didn't think going into the NBA it was as much on, the business side, and you got to really kind of look out for yourself a little bit.
Absolutely.
When I was at IU at the time. But looking back, I'm just glad I did cherish those moments when I did. Mm-hmm. I'm glad I went out there and played 100% the entire time. No regrets. I would do it all again the same way if I could. Mm-hmm. But I'm just glad I went there and had that camaraderie. Still got the relationship with my teammates, mm-hmm. and just glad I couldn't have gone anywhere else and had the same experience.
Absolutely. What you miss most about IU Bloomington?
Man, I'd probably just say hearing them same songs right before the game starts.
Right,
man.
yeah.
I'm telling you, and you walking out there on the court and you see the fans getting crazy right before the game starts.
Yes.
You got the banners flying. That's why I can't wait to get back to a game. I haven't been able to go back to a game since I graduated because I'm always in season.
Yeah, that's true.
So I don't know when is the first game. Do you know?
They don't really have a solid schedule yet because they trying to do the COVID thing, so they haven't released their schedule yet. So we waiting to see if they're going to do it. And so and you talked about your, on that note, you talked about the teammates you had. How could Vic really sing, man? Like, because I mean, I do a little singing myself in the shower at the crib, but is he really good at it?
Vic, he's actually a decent singer, man. He is. You know, I remember when we were in our academic advisor's office at the time, and he was with Derek Elston, and these dudes are talking about what song he's about to sing at Hoosier Hysteria. I'm like, man, this is what y'all talking about right now.
Right. Singing, fam. Like,
singing.
You singing.
Right. Yeah. But, I mean, Vic was always singing, you know, singing after practice in the locker room, whatever we were doing, man. He just loved singing, though. So he actually got some vocals.
What was you thinking when he did? I think it was that Hoosier Hysteria when he broke out the Usher routine. Was you there?
I was there. I was there for that.
What did you know he was going to do that?
I mean, I did because we had to rehearse.
No,
we had to rehearse dance moves.
Really?
Yeah.
Was that your freshman year?
Yeah, that was my freshman year.
Like, y'all lucky y'all went to the Sweet 16. You know how tragic that would have been if Coach Crean would have been always referring back to y'all dancing and y'all didn't make the
But Vic, man, he's an entertainer, though. He likes to entertain the crowd. So, I mean, we were all his backup dancers, basically.
Man, I was actually at that Hoosier Hysteria. That's the one I went to. And I'm sitting there in disbelief, like because you got to think about it, where I come from in IU. Like, we didn't have nothing, no lines on the court. It was like an old scoreboard. I mean, everything was just so old school when it was because of COVID. It wasn't no fun like that. Like, it was like, the only fun was the school song and the band and us running out. After that, it was business. So when I saw that, I was like, dang, this is the new IU. Like, it's, this is totally different. Like, we would have never tried that because we would have never lived that down. They would have been Coach Knight to this day would have been, you know, you ain't win championship because you were singing. Like, I mean, that was amazing. He got a music video too, don't
he? Yeah, he got a couple albums out, I think.
Dang, man.
Yeah,
hilarious, man. I thought that was awesome though, because you know, us being there at that time, in my mind, I always wanted to do something like that. That's why I was surprised. Like, man, this is the new, and I'm not an old school head. Like, we all doing this. Like, that is not. It's evolution. Everything changes. It's different. That man back there in that picture, he ain't here no more. Like, that's it's time to move on, and that's how you recruits like that. You know, they like to see the coaching staff open like that. And I thought that was an awesome moment in history. I didn't think for real or not. That was the question. And, so last question, man. What's next for Yogi? You told me you were, you know, unrestricted free agent. Are you unrestricted or restricted?
No, I'm unrestricted.
Unrestricted free. You got any some destinations you like, or you just kind of wait and see how the process plays out?
You know, I'm gonna wait and see how the process plays out. I can't say too much right now because free agency hasn't started yet.
That's true.
Yeah. So I just know my agent working hard for me. So I'll know here probably by the end of this week.
Well, you know, hopefully I'm gonna try to talk into existence a Calbert Yogi reuniting. I mean, come on, like it just works. So we don't just talk about that. But man, it's been awesome, man. I appreciate your time. You spent a lot of time with us here today. It didn't feel long at all because, you know, it's family having a conversation.
Of course.
Let's shout out to your mom for making it happen. It wasn't for her. I know she's going to be listening. Thank you for making this happen. And she tried to get on you too, man, talking about you don't text back quick enough. And I was like, no, it's probably busy. Like,
I hit you back though. I hit you back.
I text your mom and said, see, he gave, I think it was like 30 minutes. That's good enough for me. I don't know, you know, moms want you back, text back in 2 minutes. It's like, no, Yogi working out every day, mom. He getting 2 or 3 days in. He don't got time. It's a big time for you. So I completely understand, man. So if you can do me a favor, man, first of all, I got a bone to pick with you, Vic, and somebody else that will not follow me back on Twitter.
I got you right after this. I got you.
I got the blue check, so I'm good. So just, you know what I mean? But if you could do us a favor, man, we're going to, you know, we can post when we post it. This episode will probably come out next week. and
Okay.
retweet it out, man. And we're just trying to get the brotherhood to get back going again with these trips down memory lane, and to just kind of continue to bridge the gap so you can come back and get those young point guards some advice on how to be successful at IU. That's what this is about, man. And
yeah.
first, thank you for your time, man, and taking a trip down memory lane. What's your Twitter so people can follow you?
It's Yogi Ferrell 11.
Yogi Ferrell 11 on Twitter. I'm at AJ Guyton on Twitter. Please follow back, and so please, anybody listening to this, you see the retweet from Yogi, the retweet from me, please subscribe to the channel. It's the House of Hoosier podcast on the Field of 68 network. And with that, we're out of here. Appreciate you, Yogi, for your time, man. And we're going to be following you in your career. Everything I can do for you, feel free. I know you're running some camps and stuff, you know, once COVID lets up, man.
Yeah.
Somebody come in, old head to come in and show them how to get in the defensive stance. Call me, man. I got you.
Okay, I got you. All right.
I appreciate you, brother. Yogi Ferrell, everybody. Thank you, brother.
All right, man. Thank you.
All right.